I'm back, and welcome to the podcast. First, thank you for joining for the very first episode of Blunt Topics. I'm your host, Nick Blunt. I'm so excited Blunt Topics is now available on Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and Spotify. Give this show a follow, subscribe, like, comment, leave a review. A lot has gone into creating this, and I couldn't think of a better way to kick off this podcast than to talk about doing what you want and getting things done. I hope that from today's talk, you'll feel more confident in yourself. I hope you will take something from today and let it work in your life. I hope this pushes you closer towards reaching your goals and dreams. If you have a goal that you want to accomplish, this episode is for you. If you know someone with a goal they want to accomplish, then this episode is for you. If you are someone you know is scared to do what they want to do, whether that is starting a business, a family, working on their relationships, or on their health and wellness, then this episode is for you. Let's hop right in and get to talking on how to just do it. So what do I mean when I say just do it? Simply put, it means don't be afraid, and if you don't do it, no one else will. Or worse, someone else might. While that's easier said than done, we have to remember that no one wants what we want more than we do. I'll use this podcast as an example for my just do it. I did not know how to start a podcast. I wasn't sure what I wanted to talk about. I just knew I'd always wanted to do a podcast. I initially drew up the plans for this podcast back in 2019 when I called it Being Blunt. As time and a pandemic rolled around, I morphed it into Blunt Topics and said it's going to be on everything because there's a blunt topic about everything. Mainly, I'm focusing on self-improvement. I created the artwork in 2023. I created the music around 2022 and 2023. One of my friends, this is what got me. One of my friends sent me a mic, and in the package, he wrote me a note. He said, "You're going to do great," and that he believed in me, and that spoke straight fire into me. He actually has a podcast on YouTube called Freedom Change Success LLC. It's by my great friend, Dr. Keith Fairclough. Y'all go check him out. He has some real good stuff over there. It was clear I wanted to do this podcast. And life has a way of putting people there to help guide you. Another one was my friend Anteo. We met as coaches at our local middle school, but we soon found out that we were both interested in podcasting. See, I'm personally looking forward to hearing what he has to say on his podcast. Dude is ex-military. He has a very interesting perspective on life and just overall an interesting dude. While it has been amazing with the people I have met while trying to pull this together, I was missing one important thing. The actual podcast itself. I had the title, I had the music, I had the subjects. So what was stopping me? Well, it was me. Yep, I was the problem. A lot of times, that's the challenge we face when we want to do something. We get in our own heads and get in our own way. I was thinking about, what if I say something wrong? Or what if my students find this and start picking and bringing it up at work? What if I don't have time to do this on the regular basis? What if I'm jumping in over my head? I had to get myself out of the scared zone and fearing lack of perfection and focus on getting it done. None of those fears were enough to stop me from creating this podcast. I preached to everyone to do what they want, but I was stopping myself. I was getting in my own way from doing what it was I wanted. So over the course of a few months, I looked at how to convert files, what and how to create an RSS feed, and how to get the podcast on multiple platforms. I just had to sit down and do it. No one wanted this podcast more than me, and I wasn't going to let anyone take this idea from me. So I had to be the one to create it. One book that I suggest everyone reads is It's All in Your Head by Russ. This book speaks on so many truths and things that actually stop us from reaching our full potential. I have read that book at least twice. You have to just do it. So, was I worried when creating this podcast? Yes. Terrified. Very scary. Am I doing something that I love? Most definitely. Absolutely no regrets. I love talking with you guys. I wouldn't trade this experience for the world. I get to connect with everyone listening, get to share different takes on life and just connect. Don't let others' insecurities become your own. Don't let others dictate your life. How could we use this just do it approach to get to our goals? Well, bringing your idea into existence is the goal. The just do it part is the action that puts the dream into motion. If your dream stays an idea, it's just that. A dream, a thought, an idea. By just doing it, you're creating a product or a service that manifests that idea into a reality. This approach gives you the motion you need to get started. Don't wait on others because they're not going to put your dream as a priority. If you aren't willing to put the work into your goal, then your goal or dream will always be a million miles away. You have to be willing to outwork everyone for your dream. Motivation is a great start, but like the champ himself, David Goggins, said, it's crap. It's temporary. It's not permanent. It's kindling to the fire, but it's not the full fire. We have to ignite that fire ourselves. We have to keep it burning ourselves. We have to push ourselves. Pushing ourselves out of our comfort zones forces us to create new spaces and build familiarity in areas that we are not comfortable in. It's usually in these uncomfortable spaces that we see the best results, we generate new ideas, and we gain new perspectives. It gives us insight into what we are pursuing. You can comfort zone yourself into never doing or achieving your full potential. You can literally comfort zone yourself to death. Using your comfort zone as an excuse is not acceptable when there's a goal that needs to be achieved. So we can't let the fear and anxiety overtake us. So how do we overcome that fear and anxiety? Well, that's the beauty of just doing it. When you just do it, it's an empowering feeling. When you know you can do something you doubted yourself on or that you delayed. Because you're doing what you have wanted to do for so long, you have broken a barrier. You've broken an obstacle. And the first step towards anything new is always the hardest, and it can be terrifying. This can be starting a new job, ending or starting a relationship, trying something new, or like me, starting a new podcast. But it's like a zip line, a roller coaster, or a drop tower. Scary at first, but it's filled with so much experience that you can't really be sorry you did it. Now, in my personal opinion, I don't really like drop towers. I'm not quite about that life. But that's another conversation. The only way to overcome it is to take a breath and do it. Find the strength in yourself and create a reality for you. Create the space that supports you. Build the life you have always wanted. If you're worried about the thoughts of others, don't be. It's a common thing to worry about what others think of us. As humans, we are social creatures, and none of us want to go out and do something different and risk looking stupid. But like Beyonce said, we got to be willing to look stupid for like 5 minutes if we want our dreams to become reality. But mostly because we don't really want to disrupt the norm. That limits us, and you shouldn't limit things that don't need a limit. Life is limitless, and so are we. But hey, if you do it and you mess up, guess what? You can still say you did it. What can everybody else say? They still back there trying to figure their dreams out. Take the lessons, learn, and push forward. And it's important that we uphold the confidence in ourselves. That way we can always look up for the next opportunity. If we don't have confidence in ourselves, no one else will. It's like that concept for finding love. You have to love yourself first or no one else will. Shout out to J. Cole. You have to be confident in yourself before anyone else can be confident in you. So how can you apply this to your life? Where can we use this just do it mentality? How can we make it relevant to us? So by applying this just do it mentality, it creates a powerful dynamic between you and your obstacles. To pursue a dream is to essentially put a target on your back. Because when there is something you want, you are going to face those challenges. Opinions, setbacks, lack of motivation, self-doubt are all part of the process. But don't let the dream die in the process. One of my favorite quotes is by the one and only Kobe Bryant. Kobe once said, "If you see me and a bear in the same room, pray for the bear." While he's talking about outworking whatever obstacles come to him, we have to apply that same ideology to just doing it. Kobe ain't about to sit around and let someone or something determine if he survives when a bear enters the room. No, he's going to get up and he's going to ensure his own survival. Same thing with just doing it. You can't wait for someone else. No one is coming to save you. No one is coming to offer you a new project. No one is going to give you the raise you want. No one is thinking about doing something you want and how you want it, because it's not them. It's not theirs. It's yours. Life is yours. You have to do what you need to with it. Make the impact that you need to with it. If you wait for someone else's approval, you'll wait the rest of the time. Set the goal, believe in your goal, and go achieve your goals. You have to pursue the thing that you want. You are the only one that can put the work in and make it yours. You have an idea. If you want it, go get it. Now, go put the work in. With that being said, thanks everyone for listening to this first episode of Blunt Topics. I hope you gathered something from this conversation. I hope something stuck with you. I hope something impacted you, probably gave you a little bit of perspective, and I hope it provided a little bit of education. I educated myself a lot while writing this because I had to do amounts of research, and thank you for the opportunity to create this. So remember that no one wants your goals to succeed more than you do. So make sure that you are prepared to do the work and just do it. Your dreams and realities come depending on how hard you work for them. Remember to share this episode, encourage others to listen. Impact, create, educate, perspective. Love you guys. Thank you for your support. See you next time. Stay blunt and stay impactful.